and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's Wednesday afternoon. We're live on the channel. As you can tell, everything's live here. Anything could go wrong. You never know. But we're live. Wednesday afternoon preview stream. Usually I would do the live stream, the preview show the day before the game. But yesterday, if you've seen the video on the channel, we had quite a bit of news to cover. We had quite a lot to talk about, which meant that, we didn't really get a normal preview show, a full-length preview show into Celtic's last Champions League game of the season, match day 6, in a competition that we know we're already out, but still nonetheless a massive trip to the Bernabeu for Celtic, a historic trip to the Bernabeu, and can Celtic maybe conjure up something magical in what would be one of the biggest miracles in the club's modern history? Could they? Probably not. Anyway, nice to see you all. Good afternoon. I know that this isn't exactly the greatest time. I don't expect the viewing numbers to be great. People will be working. Obviously, a lot of people over Madrid. People be in school, uni, college, whatnot. So the people who aren't and the people who can actually make it along here, hello, welcome. I see a few people in the chat. Liam, Adam, Chris. Good afternoon to you guys. Good afternoon to everybody else who might be tuning in right now. We're going to try and have as much of a conversation as we can in this preview stream. Obviously Celtic, the underdogs. I mean, let's just cut to the chase. I don't think many of us are expecting anything massive tonight. To go over to the Bernabeu and just perform is good enough. And listen, a good point here. We're not going to be the worst. At least we've got points in our group this season, boys. At least we've got points. But no, in all seriousness, I don't expect us to get much tonight. And to be honest, if I was to put a score prediction on, it would probably be at least a 3-goal win or a 3-goal advantage to Real Madrid. But I think that we're certainly a team that showed in the first leg against Real Madrid, and I think that have the ability to show tonight against Real Madrid, that we can put on a show, we can compete, and even though the final scores might not flatter us at times, I think we'll create chances, I think we'll offer something. And just like Vinicius Jr. said, I brought this up yesterday in a video, Vinicius Jr. brought up the point that he doesn't think that the position and the points reflect how Celtic have played. And I totally agree with him. And you hear one of the best in the world say that, and Vinicius Jr., one of the best players on the planet in a minute, coming out and say that. It's a real compliment. It's a real kind of a tip of the hat to Ange and his team for the way we've played within this Champions League group stage. We have been incredibly unlucky at points. We have shot ourselves in the foot at points as well. But we've certainly put on a show, I think. And it's one that, despite not qualifying for any European football after Christmas, it's a campaign that I walk away with, depending on how tonight goes, with my head held high. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to lie and say I'm not disappointed at the fact that we're not making European football after Christmas. But I'm certainly not embarrassed. I'm certainly not, devastated in the terms that I think we deserved a lot more. I think we went out there and we gave it a right good go. And we were unlucky at points, as I said. So tonight we'll see what it goes off, how it goes. And as Liam said, the landline could go off. So we'll try and make this stream as short as possible. In terms of how we play, we're not going to change anything. There you go. That's just spoiler for you. Not going to change anything. I think we should just give it a right. What's the point in hiding tonight at the Bernabeu? What is there to lose now? We have finished bottom of the group. That's that. So let's just go for it. Let's go out there and try and score goals. Let's play that football that we know we can play. Let's be fast-paced. Let's be open. We probably will get caught in counter-attacks. They probably will find areas of the park that we leave empty, and they probably will score a lot of goals. That's just realistic. It's more of a spoiler than anything, but what's the point in us hiding? There's nothing to hide from. And I don't want us to see us get beat, 5, 6, 7-0 or anything like that, and I hope we avoid one of those defeats. But I think we're better than that anyway. The big problem is, and let's get into the news for this game, the big problem is we're not just without Callum McGregor for this game. We're without Cameron Carter-Vickers, aren't we? Cameron Carter-Vickers has not travelled with the side. He will not be there in Madrid for tonight's game. Remember, everybody, it's an earlier kickoff. He won't be there tonight. He won't be involved, which means there's a very real possibility that Stephen Welsh will be starting at centre-half tonight alongside Moritz Jens. Carl Starfelt, I think he has travelled with the team. Will Ange wheel him back out to play against Real Madrid? Will that be the comeback game for Carl Starfelt? I have a feeling it won't be. So There is a possibility of Real really hurting us tonight. I don't want to be on the Stephen Welsh hate bandwagon, and I don't want to doubt his ability straight off the bat, but, you know, we've seen him against the top teams, and I think we've come to expect what to get from him against the top teams as well. So it's not easy, it's not nice, but Cameron Carter-Vickers is a big miss. I would just like to see us score goals. The thought of Celtic scoring at the Bernabeu tonight against the European champions, it would be magical. And I wish I was there. I should be there. I had to cancel the trip last second. You know, but for all the fans in attendance and for all of us watching at home as well, to see Celtic score at the Bernabeu and this Ange Postecoglou side reach that sort of pinnacle would just be a nice moment. The photographs would be gorgeous. I'd love that. So I'm hoping we can hurt them on the attack. We just need to be wary. You know, we've seen how good Shakhtar were, for example, last week at getting us on a counter-attack. They broke with such pace. They broke with a real speed that we struggled to fall back on at times. And that was the big difference in the game between Shakhtar getting a point and us getting 3 points. The fact that they were really kind of lethal on the counter-attack, and that took the sting out of us at times. The thing is, with Real Madrid, if they play in a similar sense where they look to strike on the counter-attack, they have got players like Valverde going forward, like Vinicius going forward. These guys are just next level. And we've seen them firsthand at Parkhead already, but at their own stadium, in front of their own crowd, in a game where they have to win now. You know, they kind of fucked it in the last couple of games, haven't they? Because they dropped points. But, you know, with that on the line of having to win tonight, get a good performance, you know, that's a horrible combination, knowing that Vinicius and players like him will be, you know, looking to strike with a bit of venom, you could say. Right, I'm going to get into all of your comments in a moment. Let's have a look at the opposition very quickly. I've seen a lot of good comments piling in. Thank you to everybody. We're going to get you involved for the sort of last 5-10 minutes of the show. But still a couple of things to run through very quickly. I've got graphics on screen. Let's look at the opposition. And their form heading in to this game. Carlo Ancelotti's side, they haven't won any of their 2 last competitive games, which means Celtic are probably the side in which they want to get back to winning ways. Now, does that benefit us in any way? Absolutely not. Real Madrid are obviously still a top side. They won't be fazed by any of those results. Will Celtic be the one where they're like, yeah, let's take our anger out, though? I really hope not. Part of those 3 wins, the 3 wins were against good sides. Sevilla, Barcelona being involved in 2 of those. But the big one, the big talking point is, of course, that loss to Racing Ballsport Leipzig last week in the Champions League. That's the big one to talk about. They did draw at the weekend. Come to that in a moment. But the big one is the loss against Leipzig, because that has made this a more competitive game for Madrid. If they beat Leipzig last week, they would have been able to field a B team tonight without it making a difference. And, yeah. It's a bit irritating, but they look to get back to winning ways. They're just so good, aren't they? They're so good. But we showed at Celtic Park, you know, if we take our chances, if we make chances and we take these chances at the Bernabeu, we can change the course of a game. We just need to not shoot ourselves in the foot. We need to look at these and go, yeah, we should have took them. Anyway, before I get on to talking about your comments and just having a bit of a chat on this live stream, as I like to do, let's get my second graphic up and let's have a look at what I think the team will be at the Bernabeu tonight. That's the team I'm going for. I'm not saying necessarily this is the team that I would pick. I'm just saying I think this is the team that we will see tonight. Because I'm seeing a lot of comments, I'm seeing a lot of people, for example, saying, oh, Haksabanovic has to start tonight, which I completely agree with. I would love to see Haksabanovic once again start tonight. I think he's got the physicality in his game, which is kind of needed for an opposition like Real Madrid as well. But this is the 11 that I think will start tonight. So Joe Hart in goals, obviously. I think Ralston's been better than Juranovic recently, but I just think that Juranovic will play alongside Welsh, Jens and Taylor. Now, for example, I'm seeing Catering's Finest saying, well, is Welsh fit? That's the question. Is he fit? Well, this is what I'm going to come to in a moment, because I'd Starfelt over Welsh. Is Welsh fit? He wasn't on the bench for the last game. We don't know who's fitter than who. You know, is Starfelt going to be in a better condition to start this game? Is Welsh going to be in a better condition to start this game? It is a really good question. It's literally a guessing game. These team predictions come more off gut than anything, and I think that Stephen Welsh is going to start, and I think that Carl Starfelt is going to be left out. That's my thinking. There's no logic behind it because we've not really been given enough logic to deal with. It's not as if Ange just came out in the press conference before the game and said, no, Starfelt will start. You know what I mean? That's not been the case. So I just have a feeling it's going to be Welsh and Jens. I'm hoping it's Starfelt and Jens. I really am. But nonetheless, without having Cameron Carter-Vickers, it's a big blow. Midfield three, I've gone O'Reilly, Moy and Hatate. I don't really see any other combination starting this game. We've obviously spoke time and time again about Abildgaard coming in for these Champions League games and being involved in these Champions League games, but he hasn't been, and to suddenly start him against Real Madrid is just not going to happen, I don't think. So, I mean, if you like, I suppose, I have a feeling we could have a real baptism of fire for Abildgaard if only Jens is fit in centre half. I mean, there's always a chance. There is always a chance, but I think that'll be the three in the middle for me today. And then the front three, I've gone for Abada, Kyogo, and Jota. Logic behind this three, right? And I would personally start Giakoumakis, as I always say every single week, but I think that the pace matters more up front against Real Madrid than it does against any other side. Why? Because their defenders are simply the best in the world. You know, you're looking at guys like Militao, you're looking at guys like Rudiger, you know, these David Alaba, you're looking at the best centre-halves in the world. And physicality gets you a long way, but I think the one thing that we do need against players like that is the footballing mind of Kyogo and the way that he runs off players to get into that space milliseconds before defenders do. And that's why I think Kyogo will start the game. Beside him, Jota and Abada I've gone for. Now, it could be Haksabanovic, it could be Forrest, it could be Maeda. But Jota's back, he got a goal at the weekend, and he's just the most talented guy in the team, so I think he needs to play for me. And I know Abada didn't necessarily have the greatest campaigns in Europe this season, but I just have a feeling it'll be him over anybody else. We could play Jota on the right, Maeda on the left. I think that could actually, now that I think about it, be a more realistic situation. But that's the 11 I'm going to go for. That's my prediction for the team. That's what I'm going to go for. That right there. And a good point as well that, you know, the last time, obviously Giakoumakis was playing essentially the whole game. And he played really, really well. So it could be, but there you go. There's what I'm going for. That's a good front three, Donny, as well. But that's my team prediction. Now, let's score prediction. I hate doing score predictions for games like these because I feel like I just need to be defeatist, don't I? There's no point in me sitting here and saying that Celtic are going to win 3-0 because that's not going to happen. Do you know what? 1-0 Celtic. There you go. You've heard it here first. Celtic are winning at the Bernabeu. If somebody clips that and takes that seriously, I will be utterly stunned. But there we go. I'm not going to say Celtic losing because I don't want to. Anyway, for the last sort of 5-10 minutes, let's talk to you guys. This live afternoon show, by the way, 130 odd viewers for this time on a Wednesday afternoon is absolutely tremendous. Thank you very, very much. It's much appreciated. If you haven't, make sure to hit like and subscribe. We'll also be back on the channel tonight, post-match, to do our post-match reaction after the Champions League officially finishes up for the season. So, yeah, let's get your questions in if you want. Get your score predictions in as well. Again, a lot of good realistic results here. 5-0, 5-1 Real, I suppose. 3-0 Celtic, 6-0 Celtic with a Jota hat-trick. Gutted you're not in Madrid. Looks nice. I am. I'm absolutely gutted, Liam. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been in a horrible mood for the last couple of days. A horrendous mood because I'm not there. I wish I kind of went myself now. I didn't go myself. Maybe for the best with the way that the Spanish police are acting right enough, but I could have definitely met up with some other pals over there. I wish I'd just done it. It's been depressing. The rain is battering off my window, and instead I could have been in the Bernabeu tonight watching Celtic get pumped probably by Real Madrid, but I could have been there and I could have been to all three games in the Champions League, all three away games in the Champions League this season, but I'm not there. It is what it is. There's always next year. I've saved myself some money. I'm trying to look at the bright side of it, but really, I've been in a cunt of a mood, to be quite honest. I'm gutted I'm not there. Absolutely gutted. But we move. It does look cracking. I hope everybody's staying safe and such over there because the the Polish are looking pretty brutal over in Spain, as always. But yeah. What happened to Kyogo playing out wide when he first came and we had Edouard, but he was banging in goals then? Well, was he banging in goals when he was out wide? Was he? I don't remember him banging in goals when he was out wide. Because he only played a couple... Well, he scored the hat-trick, didn't he? Against Dundee. But did he play wide out that day? Because the only 2 times I can think of him definitely playing wide was against Rangers and against Hearts, and we lost both games. But I do remember when he first came in, John James. When he first came in, there was obviously all that talk that he's a winger, and we've never really seen him play on the wing since. But I think he's made his place at home up front, hasn't he? And aside from that, we have got very talented wingers. I don't think Kyogo is a winger. He is a forward to me. He is a central forward player. And I wouldn't stick him back out wide anytime soon, to say the least. Did I watch the football last night? I did indeed. It's something to do with the face itch. Yes, that as well. The fact that my beard's no back yet. Give it a week. Thanks, Liam. I'm glad you're concerned, though. I'm glad you're concerned. Thought you were booked to go all the way. I was booked. We had flights. We had trains. We had everything booked, bar accommodation and tickets for the actual game. So I have thrown away about 130 quid, which is also another factor to add into the mood. But you know, it just came to the point where it was last week. We still hadn't got tickets for the game. We missed out the chance in getting tickets for the game on first time of asking. And then my mates were just like, I can't really afford this. And I was sitting there and I was like, it's going to collapse. I knew it was going to fall apart. I knew it was. And then it did. And I should have just went myself. But I would have had to drove to Manchester all by myself. Then I would have had to fly to Barcelona. And then I would have had to get a train from Barcelona to Madrid. And then do that all the way back. And I don't mind travelling myself. I've done it before, and it's fun, it's enjoyable. But when it's that long a travel, it's a bit tiresome on your Todd. Like, that's a lot of travelling for Glasgow to Manchester, you know, all that by yourself is a bit shit. You know, so I just thought, yeah, you know what? We'll give it a miss. Can Mikey Johnson still have a future with us? We'll leave that for another day because this is basically Real Madrid chat. But interesting enough because obviously he was in the Liga Portugal Team of the Week, which was mad. More predictions coming through. Kyogo's really ineffective out wide, not good enough at dribbling. Kyogo was up front versus Dundee. I thought he was up front against Dundee. I'm glad somebody kept me right on that. Time of going live for the Sunday charity stream. It'll more than likely be 12 to 12. I will confirm final times over the next couple of days, but I'm pretty sure it'll be 12 till 12 for the 12-hour stream. I'm just hoping it's a good competitive game as long as it's not a hammering and the players give a great account of themselves at the Bernabeu, says Blake. Very good comment. Very much agreed. I would love us to walk away from the Bernabeu with our heads held high tonight. You know, even if we lost, you know, a 3-0 or something like that, if we go out and we put a performance in and we show ourselves for the side we know we can be at the best stadium in the world, the biggest stadium in the world, well, not the biggest, but the most famous anyway, you know, that is a real great position for this Celtic side to end the group, I would say. So I would love that to happen if that's the case. Hello, Alex. Nice to see you. Hope you had a nice birthday. Kyogo or Giacomakis to play up front. I want Giacomakis, but I think it'll be Kyogo as my sign. Is January's transfer window a priority to sign a striker? I don't know. I'd have to have a think what my priority position would be. I would kind of like it to be another striker. But I'm not entirely sure. You're missing out on history. Ryan will easily pump them tonight. I hope so. And yeah, hopefully get another chance in the future. What's the prize money for scoring a goal in the Champions League? I have no idea. Let me Google this. Prize money for scoring Champions League goal. I thought it was just wins that mattered, to be honest. I didn't think scoring goals got you any money, to be honest. Champions League breakdown, winner running up group stage. Yeah, so I don't think goals get you anything. If you win in the group, you get 3.1 million. If you draw, you get 1.05 million. And then I don't think you get anything for losing. It's just part of your money for getting there. So realistically, right now, Celtic have made about 2.1 million quid off of our 2 draws, which isn't bad, but you think about the money we could have made out of wins. To be fair, I don't see any of the money, so I don't give a shit. But where are you watching the game? I would probably watch it with Stevie down the stair. I guess that's one thing I can say. I watched Celtic play Real Madrid at the Bernabeu with my dad from the living room. But yeah. We try our best. Let's see, what else have we got? Regardless of the result, the performances are giving me way more confidence in this squad to compete. Reckon we should get through to the last 16 depending on group. Wow, big claim to get to the last 16. Maybe, hopefully next year, hopefully. But I agree in the first part. We are getting a lot of confidence, I think, from the way that we've been performing in this group. And that's one thing that we should be proud of. Yes, absolutely, get it done. Talk to the man. Talk to the man. Thoughts on his tweet, glorious, fantastic. Let's see. I think that would be scoring against Real would be very nice. Would be very nice. Anyway, right. Well, I'm gonna leave it there. 20 odd minutes. We've basically covered everything that I feel like we need to cover. 200 viewers, thank you very much appreciated. This will be up in case you've missed the main preview part of it. You can go back and watch it, it will be on the channel. But hope you've all enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed the game this evening. I will be, as I said, back on the channel tonight for my match reaction video, so make sure to check that out. But enjoy the game. Hopefully Celtic pull off some form of miracle and just enjoy it. The last Champions League game for another year, so you may as well while you can. Anyway, that's going to do it. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.